What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode, another live stream that we're opening up here. Huge shout out to the people that are already chopping it up here in the chat. Appreciate you guys for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, just breaking news dropping probably about an hour ago pertaining to one of the biggest mysteries that's been out there from the beginning of the start of this offseason, ladies and gentlemen. And the first domino has fallen for the Arizona Cardinals to finally say, yes, there's going to be a quarterback being chosen number one overall to the Chicago Bears, which is not a surprise to me. I've been saying this for quite some time that the Chicago Bears were going to get Caleb Williams. And I know there's some Bears fans out there that are very, very hesitant to the idea that they were going to go that route. And I don't blame them, right? They're backing their current quarterback in Justin Fields. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it just made way too much sense. It made way too much sense for the Chicago Bears to trade away Justin Fields. It just made way too much sense. So welcome Caleb Williams to the Chicago Bears. And that only means that the Arizona Cardinals has a clear shot for Marvin Harrison Jr., or at least some people might say he's got a clear shot for Marvin Harrison Jr. There's some people out there that are still a little hesitant with the idea that New England could potentially poach or snipe Marvin Harrison Jr. away from the Arizona Cardinals, but nah. Man, I'm going to go with my instincts here, and so far it hasn't failed me yet. The Arizona Cardinals most likely, hopefully, fingers crossed, are going to land Marvin Harrison Jr. in the 2024 NFL Draft. But let's dive into and break down what just happened probably about an hour ago. And man, we've heard this already. We heard Ian Rappaport and I believe Adam Schefter come out and say that there is people interested in Justin Fields, but nobody is valuing him as a starting quarterback. So if somebody wanted to go after and get him, they were going to have to settle for peanuts, right? Kibbles, right? Kibbles and bits is what I like to say. And that's exactly what the Chicago Bears end up going for. So this is the official report here from Ian Rappaport about an hour ago since the screenshot has been done. It says the Bears are trading quarterback Justin Fields to the Steelers. Sources say a quarterback into the competition. Now, if you guys do not know, the Steelers now have Russell Wilson, and they also now have Justin Fields. Now, there was already a confirmation saying that Russell Wilson will be the starter, at least as of right now, and Justin Fields is going to be the backup to Russell Wilson. So definitely a very unfortunate situation for a young quarterback in Justin Fields, but we've heard this, man. We heard that the value wasn't there for him, and I think it took as long as it did because the Chicago Bears just needed to cut their losses at the end of the day. They needed to cut their losses. Now, this is what they got back for a former first-round pick. It's a conditional sixth-round pick that can become a fourth round going to the Bears, a new era in Chicago per Ian Rappaport. That is absolutely insane. Insane. So they're getting a sixth-round pick back, ladies and gentlemen. Sixth-round pick back. And this is a former first-round pick for the Chicago Bears. But like it says in this tweet/report, it's a brand new era in the world of the Chicago Bears. So am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised that he got traded. I knew deep down that Caleb Williams was going to be number one overall. Sometimes the outside noise gets the best of people, right? And it is the right decision to do to move off of Justin Fields and draft Caleb Williams. One of the biggest reasons why is because you have a quarterback with a manageable contract, right? Compared to a guy that you most likely probably have to pay in a year or two, you might as well start over, right? They got some new talent out there and they're setting up Caleb Williams for success. So let's talk about what we're all here to talk about here, right? Actually, before we get started, do me a huge favor, smack up that like button if you guys haven't done so already. Twitter family out there, if you're still there, smack up the stream. And then obviously the YouTube fam out there, go ahead and smack up that like button if you guys haven't done so already. Let's shoot for 100 likes on YouTube, and let's shoot for something small here on Twitter. Let's go for 15 likes here on Twitter, and let's see if we can go ahead and manage that. But absolutely huge news, and one of the biggest reasons why this is something that a Cardinals channel is talking about, right? Because you're like, oh, what is this? What does Justin Fields have to do with the Cardinals? Why are you going live, Mike? What is this a big deal? Why is this here? Let me explain to you why it's a big deal. Because there's been rumors and speculations out there that some people were saying that they're going to keep Justin Fields and that they were going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. number 1 overall. I never believed that they were going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. overall. It was very asinine to think that that was going to be a real possibility. And honestly, that GM, whoever took that deal, and I'm not saying Marvin Harrison Jr. shouldn't go number 1 overall, but the value when you're sitting there and you don't need a quarterback, it's telling you to trade back because you're going to set up your organization for success. So Ryan Poles is clearly smart. It's clearly smart because they're not going Marvin Harrison Jr. number 1. So what does that mean looking at the remaining of the draft board or the remaining of the draft order, right? So we got Chicago clearly going for a quarterback, right? Clearly going for a quarterback. I don't think there's any more ifs, ands, or buts about that. And I know there's a lot of Chicago Bears fans out there that are right now they're licking their wounds, and I don't blame them, right? They probably feel blindsided. They also probably feel like they didn't get enough value back for Justin Fields because they really did like him as a person. At the end of the day, like we said earlier, Chicago Bears needed to cut their losses at the end of the day. So now Chicago's going for a quarterback. There's no denying that anymore. That is going to happen. We got Washington. They're going to go for a quarterback. They just got rid of Sam Howell, right? Sam Howell, I think, got traded to the Seahawks, if I'm not mistaken. He got traded to the Seahawks. And then number 3, right? We got the New England Patriots, which is still kind of a question mark out there, right? We got some people out there saying, oh, watch out for the New England Patriots. They're going to go after Marvin Harrison Jr. Let me say one thing real quick. Marvin Harrison Jr. does not want to go to no darn New England Patriot. He doesn't. He absolutely doesn't want to go to the New England Patriot. He doesn't want to get the ball thrown to him by Zappy. Come on now. Mac Jones was traded away, right? There's absolutely no way in heck that they're going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. at 3 overall. Now, a couple things that they can do. They could potentially trade with New York. If New York is in some sort of contention of getting a quarterback, they could potentially trade with New York. And maybe when they hit number 6, and if they want to go quarterback, they can either go JJ McCarthy or Drake May, whoever falls, right? In the grand scheme of things, they're set up to potentially trade back, but there's no way that the New England Patriots are going to go a wide receiver. Nobody's going to convince me otherwise. I get it. I get what people were saying, right? Oh, they could potentially be a sniper. They could potentially. I agree. But I've been saying this for months now. Months that most likely is going to be quarterback. And where the Arizona Cardinals are sitting right now with the 4th overall spot, they got their choice of the best player, non-quarterback out there. And we're such in a great position. I don't think you guys don't even understand how great of a position the Cardinals are in right now. We're sitting number 4 overall. We don't need a quarterback. We're chilling. We are chilling right now, ladies and gentlemen. Marvin Harrison Jr. does not want to be a New England Patriot. It's obvious. There was a podcast out there by Tyler Drake of 98.7 Arizona Sports. I believe his podcast is called Cardinals Corner. If you didn't watch the video, I released a video about it probably about 2 or 3 days ago. Check it out. There's a segment on there that has Paris Johnson Jr. talking about a conversation that he had between him and Marvin Harrison Jr. They were former, buddies or teammates at one point in Ohio State. And he said it himself, Marvin Harrison Jr. wants to be a Cardinal. Marvin Harrison Jr. wants to be a Cardinal. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Now, right now, if you're going to ask me who is the biggest threat, of course, it's New England, right? It's the biggest threat. Absolutely is the biggest threat. I still can't convince myself to think that they're going to go after him. I still can't. I understand what people are saying. I see somebody in the chat here saying they can go Michael Penix. Are you really going to try to convince this fan base that Michael Penix is going to be the answer? He had a not so good combine. His stock has took a dive. Right? I still think he's going to be maybe a 2nd round talent, if not a 3rd round talent. I just don't know if they're going to be able to go with one of those guys, especially if you could potentially go after Drake May, or if you can get JJ McCarthy, which is flying and shooting off people's draft boards right now. JJ McCarthy is seen to be probably a top 10 quarterback right now. It's crazy to say. I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback, but people are desperate right now. Desperation sets in, and people are desperate. We had so many quarterbacks being dealt. Kenny Pickett just went. Kenny Pickett went. He got traded away. Right. We got Desmond Ridder to the Cardinals. Sam Howell went to the Seahawks, I believe. And now we got Justin Fields going over to the Steelers. Right. The Steelers ended up picking Russell Wilson up, which they did confirm, or at least I saw the report saying there's no question Russell Wilson will be the starter, QB1 for the Steelers heading into the 2024 season. Until something else changes, that's what I'm thinking right now. Justin Fields is a backup quarterback. So there's no way, ladies, and there's no way that the New England Patriots are going to go anything other than a quarterback. You can't sell this to your fan base that you would rather have Michael Penix, right? You're not going to sell this to your fan base. You might have Drake May. You might have Drake May falling in your lap, because the way my mind thinks is it's probably going to be Caleb Williams. It's probably going to be Jaden Daniels, because I truly believe that Cliff Kingsbury likes that type of quarterback, a Jaden Daniels over a Drake May. So you're probably going to have Drake May falling into your lap there. You're probably going to have Drake May falling into your lap. And you're going to convince yourself that to get Marvin Harrison Jr. when you got nobody to throw the ball to him, it's just not possible to me. It's not possible to me. And I've been right most of the time, right? Some things I'm wrong on, but for the most part, I've been right for the most part. Caleb Williams is a clear choice consensus to coach the Chicago Bears because of the fact that that contract is going to be much cheaper in a longer period of time compared to you might have to pay Justin Fields in a year or so. So it's just the way the cookie crumbled. Let's go with these contributions. We got some super chats piling up. Appreciate you guys for being here. By the way, we got close to 300 people in the chat, and that is going to be Twitter/X, combination of YouTube as well. So appreciate you guys for being here. Let's get over to the super chat segment. Let's go with Michael Evans. He says, "Go Cards." Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm feeling it, bro. I'm feeling it, man. If you're asking yourself why we're going live for Justin Fields getting traded, I just explained to you why we're going live, because for Justin Fields getting traded, for the simple fact of this seems a lot more realistic, ladies and gentlemen. I already knew I felt it. And can we get our hearts broken in about 4 weeks? Yes, right? Or I guess 5 weeks now, right? Is it 5 or 6 weeks? Yeah, when the draft comes, can we get our heart broken? Yes, it's still a possibility, but it's kind of written in the stars now. It's kind of written in the stars. I never had a problem. I never had an issue with New England until somebody here in the chat kept saying New England. I never did. I never thought he was going to go over to the New England Patriots. Never did. Until people in the chat keep saying it. I don't know where people are getting that. I don't know. But somebody's feeding it. Somebody's feeding it somewhere. But I've always thought it's going to be quarterback, and it seems like it's coming to fruition. So let's continue with the super chats that we have here. We got Miles with the $2 dono. Appreciate you, man. He says, "One step closer. Can we rest easier right now?" Yeah, I believe we can. I truly do. I truly do. What Justin Fields has gone for is absolutely crazy. This man he went for a bag of chips. He went for a bag of chips, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining the stream, we're pretty much covering the Justin Fields trade and obviously excitement around the Arizona Cardinal fan base, because Justin Fields, former quarterback of the Chicago Bears, was a big distraction, a big obstacle for Arizona Cardinal fans to potentially see that this is always going to happen. And it's now written in the stars, right? It's now written in the stars. So Ian Rappaport reports it's a conditional 6th round pick that could become a 4th round going to the Bears. Wow. Just wow. So I agree. One step closer. And yes, we can definitely rest easier for sure. Let's go over with S. Contreras, what's up, brother? Appreciate you for being here. My worries are New England drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. or Chargers jumping on 3 and drafting him. Also depends if the Vikings offer something crazy for the 4th. So here's the way I like to look at it. The thought is always, can the Vikings trade up to 4, right? Here's the way I like to look at it. I don't know if the fan base would be, I guess eventually we will be on board with it, but there's only certain opportunities you can get to get a generational talent, right? There's only so many opportunities you can get to get a generational talent. And I mean, your Adrian Petersons, your Julio Jones, your Larry Fitzgeralds, right? Those type of players that you can't pass up on. You just can't pass up on. And that's what people really are saying about Marvin Harrison Jr., right? And not just because his dad is a Hall of Famer in the NFL, and he's pretty much kind of like a replica, and he's actually taller than his dad is. But this guy is as clear consensus as it comes when it comes to the draft, right? Because at the end of the day, the draft is a gamble. It's like you go into the casino, right? Oh, I'm going to win money. I'm going to get the next best thing. I'm going to hit a jackpot, right? You don't know. Most of the time, it doesn't work. Most of the time, it doesn't work at the end of the day. So if you want to go after a clear guy that's going to give you a better percentage. Now, here's the thing. Can Marvin Harrison Jr. bust? Yes, he can. Right? I'm not saying it's number 100%. Right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying this is an 85 to 90% chance this guy is going to work out in the NFL. That's what I'm saying. The rest of the NFL prospects going number one or in the first round, they probably have a 65% succession rate, right? And I'm not talking about superstar. That's even lower. You have a 33, maybe 40% succession rate to be a superstar. If you want to be a number one starter, or if you want to be a starter, you're probably a 65% completion rate to be a good, right? Because Zaven Collins is not a superstar, but Zaven Collins is a piece in our defense. I mean, he's there. People are already talking about, oh, we should potentially, not pick up his fifth-year option, right? People are already saying that. So do you want to get a Zaven Collins, or do you want to get a guy that can get you that number one starter, superstar type of guy, right? That's the type of thing you need to ask yourself. So I do believe that the Chargers are looking for a wide receiver. That's a fact. But here's the thing. It's not like they're in deep trouble. I don't see the Chargers trading up to like 2 spots above just to go in front of the Arizona Cardinals. I don't see it personally, because they could still get a pick of Rome Odunze, and they could still get a pick of Malik Neighbors. And here's the thing. If the Cardinals trade back to 11 in terms of where the Vikings are, if the Cardinals truly trade back that far, you're not guaranteed you're going to get a wide receiver. You're not guaranteed you're going to get a wide receiver. So why risk it? In my opinion, why risk it, right? If you go back to 11 for the Vikings, why risk it? Kyler Murray wants to win. Everybody that we brought in wants to win. JG wants to win. I don't see the point. I truly, truly don't. This is one of those things that I don't know if I will even forgive any GM if he falls in our laps. If he's not there, if he actually gets taken by New England, or if somebody else trades up to number 3 and takes Marvin Harrison Jr., then okay. I'm open to options to trade back. I'm completely cool with it. But if he's sitting there on your lap, you got to go for it. You have to take it. You got to take a swing and get Kyler Murray his number 1 weapon. Right now, our wide receiving core is not great. It's not great. We got Greg Dortch. We all love Greg Dortch. We like Michael Wilson. He's going into his 2nd year. And then we got Zach Pascal, right? We don't have Rondale Moore anymore. Hollywood Brown ended up going to the Chiefs. We got to go after the best wide receiver if he falls at our laps. I just don't see it. If it happens, man, I don't know where we go from there. I truly, truly don't. I truly, truly don't know where we go from there. Because honestly, in the grand scheme of things, if he falls to you, you got to go after him. I mean, am I wrong, chat? Let me know here in the chat. Am I wrong? If he's there, you got to take him. Am I correct or am I wrong? I don't know if I'm going to be able to forgive it. Or maybe forgive it. I just probably won't be able to forget it. And of course, that's always going to be one of those things. Because believe it or not, although we do all love Paris Johnson Jr., another guy that we missed out on was Will Anderson Jr., right? Will Anderson Jr. is a really, really good, talented young player. So is Paris Johnson Jr. So we got lucky. We got lucky. If we didn't trade back up, who knows who we would have gotten, right? Who knows who we would have gotten? There's a lot of first-round picks that don't work out. There's a lot of first-round picks that don't work out. Look at the track record for the Arizona Cardinals. Just as a pure example, I get it. Monty isn't Keim. Fully on board with that. But you cannot ignore the fact that the succession rate of first-round picks is not always a hit. It's not. It's not always a hit. Get a guy that loves football, that breathes football, that is the best wide receiver in all college football and the best wide receiver that we've seen in a very, very long time. Get that guy if he falls to you. It's just as simple as that at the end of the day. All right, let's take it to the comments here. We got some people saying you're correct. Appreciate you. We also got somebody says you have to take him. I agree. We got somebody in the chat says it's very possible the Chargers could trade up, especially if they want Marvin Harrison Jr. hard enough. The whole league pretty much knows we want Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, if that's the case and they want him that bad, if they want him that bad and we do get sniped away, then we just got beat out of it, right? I don't see the Cardinals trading up. I just don't see it happening. At the end of the day, I don't see the Arizona Cardinals trading up. So if the Chargers truly want him that bad, then obviously Monty needs to figure out what to do from there. If that's a trade back option to 11, hopefully we trade back up and get some of these wide receivers, right? Either Malik Neighbors or your Odunze. Because if you really look at this, take a look here at the draft order that we have right now. There's a lot of teams that want a wide receiver. A lot of teams that want a wide receiver. Let's start off with Arizona, right? Arizona, the Chargers probably want a wide receiver. If they don't go wide receiver, then they might go offensive line or they might go tight end, right? We don't 100% know. The Giants are in need of a wide receiver. Tennessee just got Ridley. I guess we'll kind of skip them. Chicago definitely wants a wide receiver. You can throw... I don't know if I could throw the Jets in. No. So there's 4 teams that I know for sure would love a wide receiver. 4 teams behind the Arizona Cardinals. Four. Actually, 3 teams. I apologize. So it's the Cardinals, the Chargers, the Giants, and the Chicago Bears. Those 4 teams in the top 10, I know for sure want a wide receiver. There's only 3 top wide receivers, ladies and gentlemen. There's only 3. There's only 3 top wide receivers. So if you do trade back, it's a sticky game. It's a very sticky game because you don't know if you're going to be able to either get Malik Neighbors or Odunze. You just don't know. You absolutely don't. All right, we got some contributions coming away. We got OKG with the massive super chat, $20 donation. What's up, brother? Appreciate you for tuning in and obviously being here on the stream. I think a lot of us are excited. Thank you so very much for being here, OKG. He says this: if Minnesota offers something crazy like JJ and the 11th for our 4th, I think we take it. And maybe do something like we did last year, too, and trade up inside the top 10 for Odunze. We have a lot of picks to do so. Oh, okay. Yeah. Master of hot takes over here. OKG. I had you on my live stream a couple days ago, and I appreciate you for being here. I remember you, man. Appreciate you for coming through again. Okay. Oh, this is an interesting one. This isn't it. Let's read this back here real quick because my guy here, OKG, is hot takes. Love him. Great, really think about type of hot take. So he says this: if Minnesota offers something crazy like JJ, that's Justin Jefferson, ladies and gentlemen, Justin Jefferson, and the 11th for our 4th, I think we take it. And maybe do something like we did last year and trade up top 10 and get Odunze. So you're saying get Justin Jefferson, give up our 4th, we go to 11 and potentially move back somewhere in the top 10 to get Odunze. Here's the only thing. Can the Cardinals afford a Justin Jefferson? That's the only thing I have. Can they afford a Justin Jefferson? That's the only thing I have on that. Can they afford a Justin Jefferson? The highest paid wide receiver right now, I believe, is Tyreek Hill, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's getting paid $29-30 mil a year. So the big question is, can we afford him, right? That's the biggest question out there. And if we get Odunze, I love Odunze. I truly do. I really do. So I like this, but the biggest thing is, can we afford him? I believe last time I looked, we have $30 million in terms of cap space. So it's tough. It's tough. I don't hate it. I'll tell you that. I don't hate it. I do not hate what you're saying. I love the way your mind works. So I truly do appreciate the contribution. He says this: just saw the news. Get Marvin Harrison Jr. AZ fan 1998. Yeah, I know that's a tough one though. Going back to OKG's, the biggest thing is that I'm not sure if we have the money for a Justin Jefferson. That's the thing. because we still need to allocate some money towards the draft, and we still need to allocate some money in terms of what happens if somebody does get injured, right? We need to kind of plug and play players here and there, because I still don't think we have the best depth. I think we got some good people, but I don't know if we got the best depth. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. It's definitely something to think about. We'll see. Great super chat, though. AZ Fan says, I just got the news. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. We do got another super chat here from Miles with the $5 dono. And he says this: front office wants to bring Cardinal fans back in State Farm Stadium. Drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. would be put butts in the seat. He will be the second coming Larry Fitzgerald. Facts. 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 Yes. Miles. Yes. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. You don't understand. You don't understand how bad the Cardinals organization wants to bring Cardinals fans back in the seats. You're right. They want to put butts in seats. And here's the reason why I know. Because I was invited to that exclusive season ticket hole, and they were pushing so hard. They were pushing so hard because they know Cardinals fans right now are as turned off as they possibly can be, right? Obviously, this week has been very, very interesting and intriguing because a lot of news is coming out for the Arizona Cardinals. So don't talk about this week, but like we've had 2 months of literally dryness, dry spell, nothing from the Arizona Cardinals. We were quiet. You can hear a pin drop. So you're right. If they want to put butts in seats, you probably have to go for Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, I'm not going to lie. You probably can still put butts in seats if you get Justin Jefferson. You could probably put butts in seats if you get Justin Jefferson. But I just don't know if they're going to have the money to allocate that, right? Because it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Now, I get it. I just made a video about T. Higgins, but I said the same thing. I'm not sure if you guys saw the video. If you didn't, spoiler alert. The fact that it's a rumor. I don't know if the Cardinals are going to be able to allocate it. I get it. There is some GMs that are very, very savvy in terms of directing a contract the way that fits the organization. I just don't know if we're there right now, but I agree with you, Miles. I truly, truly do. I think that if they want to put butts in seats, you got to go for the guy that's going to give you the most explosion and the guy that's going to give you the most excitement. And that's Marvin Harrison Jr. You just can't keep trading back. You just can't. I mean, there's only so many trade backs you can do. You can't miss out on your Adrian Petersons. You can't miss out on these big, big, stellar, changing organization type of players, right? We had it. We know what it feels like. We know what it feels like to have a Larry Fitzgerald. We haven't had him in years. We haven't had it. A guy that we drafted that we can get behind, and that is Marvin Harrison Jr. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. But I get where people are coming from and the intrigue that comes with the idea of trading back to accumulate more picks. But y'all, how many more can we trade back? We can only trade back so many times. It gets to the point of, okay, well, why are we just skipping out on these generational talent type of guys, right? There's only so much we could trade back, in my opinion. So I think you got to go for the clear consensus best wide receiver that we've seen coming out of the draft in years, in my opinion. So if you guys are just getting in here right now, we have breaking news coming out of the world of the NFL about an hour and a half ago now that we are currently here. We got Justin Fields getting traded away to the Steelers for a 6th round pick that can potentially be a 4th round pick, but absolutely no value back for the Chicago Bears. They tried to play their hand and it just did not work for them. We heard a report saying Justin Fields, there's interest, but nobody wants him as a starter. It's just what it is. Nobody wants Justin Fields as a starter. And as you can tell, a conditional 6th round pick is what he ended up getting traded for to the Steelers. And the Steelers just got Russell Wilson, ladies and gentlemen. So it's crazy, man. It really, really is crazy to see just kind of how everything's unfolding for the Arizona Cardinals and, the rest of the NFL. But I still do think it's quarterback. Come on now. It has to be. It has to be. There's no way New England's going to go out there, man. There's no way. I'm seeing the chat, man. People are still saying maybe the Chargers, maybe New England. I can't wrap that around my head. I can't. It has to be a quarterback for New England. They need to start over. And it starts with the quarterback. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So let's continue with the chat here. Somebody in the chat says Fields would start over Kyler any day. That's hilarious. We might have a Chicago Bears fan up in here, ladies and gentlemen. We might have a Chicago. Somebody wants attention here, ladies. Somebody wants attention here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give them the attention they deserve.
Shame. Shame.
Absolutely shameful take. My guy over here says Fields would start over Kyler any day. Oh my goodness, the disrespect that we're getting up in here right now. Disrespect. Let's do it one more time for the people in the back.
Shame. Shame.
Get out of here with that take. Man, that makes no sense right now, ladies and gentlemen. We got Kyler Murray going in and just elevating this entire organization, putting it on his back, and we're going to see exactly what happens here in the 2024 season, man. I am absolutely super excited about it, and honestly, the way that it is all falling out, it is literally like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Excellent, because Marvin Harrison Jr., let's just take a little bit here. Let's just take a quick moment of silence to go ahead and take a look at this maybe, potentially, most likely going to be the next wide receiver of the Arizona Cardinals, man. There's no way that everybody's doing these swaps for the Cardinals. There's no way, man. It's most likely going to happen. It's most likely going to happen. But we'll have to kind of wait and see. Unfortunately, it's going to be another 5-6 weeks before the draft. So we'll have to kind of wait to see how that shakes out. All right, let's continue here. We got, is that a pick of Tyreek's? But I don't know. I just got it here on the interweb. Let's continue with the chat. Wouldn't you rather have Fields as a backup over Ritter? Okay, well, that's a different topic. That's a different topic for a different day. Okay, so AR here says, wouldn't you rather have Fields as a backup over Desmond Ritter? So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I would, for sure. It's just, here's the thing. There's going to be so many storylines. If Fields got traded to the Arizona Cardinals, everybody, okay, let's live in this hypothetical world real quick, right? So the quick answer is yes. I would rather have Justin Fields than Ritter. Yes, I would. Here's the thing. Kyler Murray would I don't know how that would fly with the organization. I don't know how that would fly with Kyler, right? Even if we got him for a 6th conditional pick, you just don't do that to a guy that you've been talking all offseason saying that this is your guy, right? You don't do that to a guy that you posted 5 or 6 posts about loving your quarterback. And I get it. The GM is not the one putting things on social media. I'm fully aware of that. It's just a bad look. You can't do that. Ritter coming in here is a clear consensus backup quarterback to Kyler Murray, or he's going to battle it out with Clayton Tune. It's just simple as that. He's going to battle it out with Clayton Tune. Imagine the storylines of the Arizona Cardinals traded for Justin Fields. You just don't do that. There's some things you don't do. There's just some things you don't do. And if you don't understand that, then I guess you just don't get the upper level of how it makes your organization / company look, right? If you weren't in management, if you weren't in a supervisorial position at one point, then maybe it doesn't make sense. But if you were up at one point in a top part of a company, sometimes you don't do things to avoid the backlash. Sometimes you don't do things to not make your company look bad. It's just as simple as that. It might not make sense to people that have not been in that role, but let me just tell you right now, as a guy that has been in a role like that, sometimes you just do things to avoid all the drama, to avoid all the mess. You've spent this entire offseason kissing up, sucking up to Kyler Murray. He's our guy, and you do not want to bring that noise in. Just I'm just going to say that. So to answer your question, yes, I would rather have Justin Fields as our backup instead of Ritter. Yes, I would. It's just you don't do that. You just don't do it. Somebody in the chat says, "What we have, Marvin? The draft hasn't even been here, my guy. No, we still have a long way from the draft. I'm just saying it's written in the stars. I'm just saying the first domino has fallen. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying." Somebody in the chat says, "We have 3 quarterbacks. Justin would have been a way to boom. Here we go. See, this is what I'm saying. Some people see where I'm going with, right? Some people are in the same wavelength that I'm in, because there's just some things that you don't do. You spend all off season talking about how much you love Kyler. You don't do that. You just don't. Ritter is an obvious backup. Nobody's coming in here and saying, oh, Ritter's going to take the job of Kyler. No, stop. Get some help. No, you just don't do it. You just don't do it. So crazy news, man. Crazy news. So how far did Justin Fields go? Now, here's the thing, man. Like, I know some Chicago Bears fans out there right now that are really, really hurting. I know some Chicago Bears fans right now that are really, really hurting because they truly sold the soul. They really sold the point and the idea and drove it that Justin Fields was going to be the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. I know some fans out there, man. And that's the thing. Like, I don't blame them. Like, I truly do not blame them at all because Justin Fields was their quarterback, right? You got to back him. You got to ride him. I don't blame y'all. But here's the thing. It's really hard to watch them trace, especially because the what we do, right? We put our public opinion out here, and there's a lot of people waiting in the shadows, a lot of people waiting in the bushes just to jump up and say, I told you you were wrong. One thing people want to do more than anything is tell you that you were wrong. That's exactly what people love to do. They love to tell you that you are wrong and that your opinion is shit. People love it. They're waiting. They're waiting. So there's a lot of people getting backlash right now because of Fields getting traded away, and Caleb Williams is the clear consensus number 1 overall pick. It's what it is, man. OKG, what's up, man? He says, yeah, I want to be on that round table. We probably will be opening up something, man. I think we definitely probably will be opening up something pertaining to like having some sort of Cardinals round table to get everybody together and see if we can kind of put all these opinions out there. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I've said this before, right? This isn't just my channel. This is everybody's channel, right? This is where the fans can congregate and actually talk, right? And talk and you know, chop it up because we all have different opinions. And honestly, I think they're all very valid opinions at the end of the day. So yeah, man, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I feel it. I feel it. So number 1, Caleb Williams to the Chicago Bears. Number 2, Jaden Daniels to the Washington Commanders. And number 3, Drake May to the New England Patriots. Book it, write it, seal it in a paper, throw the bottle in the ocean, and hopefully that time capsule comes back to you in the end of April. Because number 4 to me is Marvin Harrison Jr. It's just, I think that's the way the draft order is going to go. Caleb, Daniels, May, Marvin. The rest, I can care less. The rest, I can care less. I could see it happen. I could almost taste it. We got my guy here, Alex, saying so pumped for the draft. Yeah, man, it's what it is, dude. It's what's going on. It's one of those things that you just do not. You don't mess this up, brother. You do not mess this up. Here we go. And here's another thing. A couple things. A lot of people love to see what Marvin Harrison Jr. likes. A lot of people love, and if you don't know what I'm talking about in the Twitter world or the X world, you can see what an athlete or anybody likes. There's a like tab that you can switch over and see what they like. Here's one thing that you guys will probably find humorous if you guys care or anything like that. Marvin Harrison Jr. liked 2 posts within the last hour. 2 posts within the last hour. One of them being Justin Fields going over to the Steelers, and Caleb Williams with the first overall pick to the Chicago Bears. Marvin Harrison Jr. is truly, and people do not, I don't know why they don't listen to me. I don't understand. I get it. I'm just a fan. I understand it. Marvin Harrison Jr. does not want to be anything other than the Cardinal. We heard Paris Johnson Jr. say it. We heard it. We heard Paris Johnson Jr. saying that he had a conversation with Marvin Harrison Jr. And if you do not know what I'm talking about, I released a video probably about 2 days ago about a clip from a podcast called Cardinals Corner, which is an umbrella under the umbrella of 98.7 Arizona Sports, local radio station here in Arizona. Marvin Harrison Jr. wants to be a Cardinal. Marvin is keeping track on all of these, ladies and gentlemen. He's keeping track on everything. On everything. Something in the chat says, we heard it from Paris, but it comes down to Bidwell. Yeah, I mean, I think it comes more down to Monty. Honestly, I think it comes more down to Monty than Michael Bidwell. I truly believe he's stepping back. I truly believe he wants to win. He's just terrible at decisions. Like, honestly, like, we're still allowing this to play out, but with what he's done, he chose Steve Keim over BA. You don't do that. You don't pick Steve Keim over Bruce Arians. You don't do that, right? In decisions that were made, he was the one who got the fault. He said, I was the one who hired Steve Wilkes. They fired him in a year, right? And Cliff Kingsbury didn't, work out. That was on Keim supposedly, but it's all a decision from Bidwell at the end of the day. I do believe he's stepping back and allowing Monty to cook. I truly, truly do. This is all on Monty. Does Monty want to get Marvin Harrison Jr.? Truly. I just think it's written in the stars, y'all. It's written in the stars. It truly, truly is. Yeah, Miles says Bidwell / Monty would be foolish to let an asset like Marvin Harrison Jr. slip through their fingers. Facts. I don't know if you will be able to forgive it. Some people might not be able to forgive it, but I sure as hell won't forget it. Let me tell you that right now. I sure as heck will not forget it if that does happen. I won't forget it. Please do not be that team that allows the Chargers to literally sit there at the 5th overall spot and get the best wide receiver that we've seen in years. Please don't. Unless you know something, unless they know something that we don't know about his personality, about injury report, or about whatever, unless they know something that we don't know. But please, don't let it happen. Please. OKG with another super chat. What's up, brother? Appreciate it again, man. Thank you so much for the contributions. He says this: love you, love you, sports fan, but I would have to go study. Great stream as always. I'll be here next stream, and most important, go Cards. Absolutely, brother. Thank you so very much for being here as always, man. Thank you so very much for the the $20 donation and the $5 donation. Means the world, man. Thank you. Have a great rest of your time and enjoy studying. Yeah, I'm excited, man. This is excitement overload for sure. Excitement overload, and people in the chat. Like, we got my guy here say, I love Marvin. Yeah. Chargers fans on the pipe during thinking. Yeah. Because they know. I don't want to be the team, man. I don't want to be the team to just think that we want more draft capital, right? Because we've been victims of that before. I get draft capital seems important. I get it. But we have 11 picks right now. We have 11 picks, and we've already filled up a lot of holes. I get it. Some people might think that they're mid-tier talent, but in the grand scheme of things, ladies and gentlemen, let's see how these guys work out. You never know. Out of these 4 or 5, 6 guys that we brought in, 3 or 4 of them could probably surprise the living heck out of us, right? Some guys might be, You don't know. We don't know. Sean Murphy Bunting seems to be a really cool dude, right? Mac Wilson Sr. seems to be a really cool dude, right? So I think if we can get these pieces to get to know each other and build a chemistry, I think we can have a very, very good defense on our hand. Not full with star-studded names, but a really, really good Jonathan Gannon / Nick Rallis-led defense at the end of the day. So I'm so excited. And my guy in the chat says Chargers are getting Marvin Harrison Jr. All right. I guess you guys believe what you want to believe. At the end of the day, right? You guys believe what you want to believe. If it happens, then we'll have to figure out how that happens. I'm just overly optimistic, I guess, at the end of the day. I'm just overly optimistic. We got my guy in the chat says K1 needs this guy. The fans need it too. If the Cardinals organization wants to put butts in seats, absolutely, you get Marvin Harrison Jr. If we get Marvin Harrison Jr., there's going to be a massive giveaway for sure. I'm going to go to wherever I need to go to get multiple jerseys, and we're going to be doing a giveaway if we get Marvin Harrison Jr. for sure. It's going to happen. Like the giveaway. I'm just overly optimistic about Marvin Harrison Jr. That's all I'm saying. We'll see, man. We'll see. Michael Evans with another $2 dono. What's up, brother? Appreciate you so very much for the contribution. He says this: Bidwell wants Marvin Harrison Jr. for sure. Big money for him. Yeah. That's what people aren't realizing. The Cardinals organization are in a strong push to put butts in seats. Cardinal fans, butts in seats. They're in a strong push right now. And if you don't believe me, you probably haven't been poached by multiple season ticket holder representatives that are calling you constantly. You want to do that? You want to put the people's butts in the seats? You know what you got to do. Marvin Harrison Jr. is the clear answer. It's just the way it is. JK Gamer over here says, I'll drink a whole pack of beer if we get Marvin Harrison Jr. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's what it is, man. It's what it is. For the people just joining us, just covering this latest news here of Justin Fields getting traded to the Steelers for a 6th round pick that could potentially be a 4th round pick. And that just solidifies that the Bears are going to go quarterback with the 1st overall. Number 2, I don't think anybody has any questions, but obviously per the chat, there's still some question marks on what the New England Patriots are going to do with that 3rd overall. So, I mean, if Drake May falls to you, Drake May falls to you. Got to go for it, man. You got to go for it. Let's go with the chat. Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't get past Arizona, but not going to lie, New England makes me nervous, especially if May is taken by Washington. I agree with that. I think the quarterback that New England wants more is May over Daniels, for sure. For sure. I 100% agree with you. I think May is a better prototypical Patriots type of quarterback. Now, I get it. Maybe my mind is old school. Maybe I'm still thinking of Belichick, although Belichick is not the head coach over there. But my mind can't get away from, I think they would rather choose May over Daniels for sure. I mean, the good thing that's coming for us is that we got, what's his name? Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury is the offensive coordinator for the Commanders. And we all know that he likes the type of quarterbacks that is Kyler Murray and Jaden Daniels. So I think they're going to go Jaden. I truly do. And I think I think Drake May is going to fall to 3. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. What's the deal with Patriots wanting only what? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying prototypical type of quarterbacks. I'm not putting race in this at all. I'm just saying prototypical type of quarterbacks personally. I mean, they just got Jacoby Brissett, so that might be, I guess a rebuttal to what you're saying. Didn't they just get Jacoby Brissett? Granted, he's like a bridge quarterback, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's what it is. Somebody in the chat says Vikings are going to move up to 3 and they taking May. There you go. Yeah, exactly. People are so quick to say the Cardinals are going to be moving. They're so quick to say the Cardinals are going to be moving out of the 4th spot. Don't forget that the Patriots can also move. If it's not quarterback, but that 3rd is not New England, it could still be the Vikings trading up to 3. You're 100% right. Yeah, facts. Absolutely. Don't be so quick. Everybody's so quick to say, oh, the Cardinals are going to get traded. No, it doesn't have to be us. It can be New England. New England could potentially trade back to either, let's bring up the draft board again, right? Let's bring up the draft. Here are some potential people that they can trade back with. The Giants. Here's the thing. The Giants would be perfect for them because if it's the Giants can get whoever the heck falls and they can get JJ McCarthy or whoever the heck they want to get. Or they can go address some other need, right? And they just go to 6th. If they go to Minnesota's going to give them a grip. And I mean a grip. Ton of draft capital. They're gonna make out like abandoned. And here's the thing. New England, I see New England like we were last year. I don't think New England's trying to make these big splashy moves right now. They understand that they're in year 1 of, Gerard Mayo? Was that his name? The new head coach? They're in year 1. The expectations is not anything other than let's just see what we have going on. Let's build, right? It benefits them to trade back and accumulate draft picks just like the Cardinals did. It does benefit them. So, I don't know. They're not one wide receiver away to compete. They're not. They have a lot of holes. They were the Arizona Cardinals of last year. It's kind of how I feel about them. It truly does. So, yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. New England could potentially trade back for sure. Kyler is a vet. It's his team now. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, with the whole Jonathan Gannon regime, they made it very obvious that he is their guy. Absolutely. He is their guy. We got a guy here in the chat says, I think New England wants to trade out of the spot for the Vikings. New England needs everything, just like the car. Boom! Edward! Man, I'm telling you, man, there's some people that really surprise me, man, out there here in the chat. I'm not sure if you guys heard that from me or if that's just kind of the way you like to think, too. That's exactly the way I think about it, too. New England is in no shape or form one wide receiver away to compete. I get it. He's a big staple point. I understand that. But this draft class is really, really stocked with wide receivers. You probably trade back and accumulate more draft picks. Their organization does not look good. Their roster doesn't look good. They don't have a quarterback. They got Zappy. They got rid of Mac Jones. What are they going to do? Get Penix? Bo Nix? Come on. Come on now. Come on. Marvin Harrison Jr., most likely. 85% confident. 90% confident now after this. 90% confident now that he's going to be an Arizona Cardinal. As long as the Cardinals do not... You know what I'm trying to say? Was Zappy cut? Really? Let's take a look here real quick. Was he really cut? I guess they got Jacoby Brissett. Okay, so they got Jacoby Brissett. Per this, Mac Jones was traded. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. I think Zappy's still there, if I'm not mistaken. So Jacoby Brissett, Zappy, and then Nathan Rourke. Don't know him. I know Mac Jones got traded to the Jaguars. I just haven't heard anything. I think Zappy's still there, but they do got Jacoby Brissett. So let's go with Vincent. Vincent says, if Caleb Williams is a bust, it's back to the drawing board for Chicago. And that's the thing, though. I mean, you got to take chances, right? Here's the thing. They didn't pay their quarterback in Justin Fields. They didn't pay him. So it's not really anything on their back. They're starting over with another guy that could potentially be that guy, right? Another guy that could potentially be that guy. And right now they have a pick of the top 3 quarterbacks right there falling to them. So, yeah, he could potentially be a bust. He can. It's just, you might have to take that. You might have to take it. You just traded away Justin Fields now, so you probably have to take it now. So, any updates on the T. Higgins rumor? Right now, I've kind of tried to reach out to a couple people. Nobody's really gotten back. It is the weekend right now. I know some people don't work on the weekend. Please keep in mind, and I did put that in the comment with the whole T. Higgins thing. It's a rumor, right? It's a rumor right now that has spun up and came up kind of out of nowhere because of where the Cardinals are at right now with the wide receiving core. Also keep in mind, like I said in the video, I personally don't think it's going to happen. I personally don't, but we'll see. We'll see. Do you like Kool-Aid? If he falls, I do like Kool-Aid. Someone just CD. No, get CD Lamb's name out your mouth. He's not coming to the Cardinals. I know we all want CD, and I know people wanted CD over Isaiah Simmons, including myself. I was cool with Isaiah Simmons because I wanted to back up my team, but the guy I really wanted was CD Lamb. But he's not coming to the Cardinals. He's going to be a Cowboy. Let's keep it with the chat. We got about 5 more minutes, maybe 3 or 4 more minutes, and then we're going to close up shop here. AZ, who would you rather want, Marvin Harrison Jr. or so if you're going to give me the options and who I would want out of those 3 wide receivers, Marvin Harrison Jr., simple reason is he's cheaper. Simple as that. And Marvin can be 2nd, 3rd best wide receiver, 4th, 5, even if he's top 7 best wide receiver, right? Even if he's rookie of the year, but he's not better than Justin Jefferson, you're still paying him a heck of a lot less money than a Justin Jefferson would, right? And the same thing with T as well. So to me, if you're building out this roster, Marvin Harrison Jr. is an absolute no-brainer because of how cheap his contract would be. If you want to build a roster out, you're going to have to continue to build the roster out through the draft. And that is exactly what Monty said he was going to do. Build it through the draft. So between those 3 guys, Marvin Harrison Jr., no doubt in my mind, he's cheaper. And he could still give you equally Maybe even if it's 85% of the production of them, even if it's 85% in his rookie year, that's a dub. That's a dub, man. That's a dub. So let's see here if there's any other news coming out here of the world of the NFL. I think this one right now is the biggest news that is happening right now. There's a lot of Bears fans right now that is kind of, I don't think they exactly know how to feel, right? There's a lot of Bears fans right now that doesn't know exactly how to feel. But in the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, they got to back their quarterback, right? Exactly what we did when we got rid of Josh Rosen. We jumped train, we moved on, new quarterback, and then the rest is history from there, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to be closing up shop, everybody. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Twitter/X fam. Appreciate you for tuning in right now. I think we got 10 likes on there. If you guys can do me a huge favor, over 180 people watching here on the Twitter world, smack up that like button. Also in the YouTube world, appreciate you as well. Smack up that like button. Let's do it for the algorithm. Huge shout out to the sponsors of the video, Underdog Fantasy. If you're looking to do daily fantasy, hockey, baseball is coming up. We got basketball, heck, golf. You can do daily fantasy with Underdog Fantasy today. Use promo code AZSF when you download the app, and your initial deposit will be matched up to $100 by using promo code AZSF. And we got multiple other sponsors that if you want to support the channel, you can do so by either checking out the sponsors, giving them a try. If you don't like them, obviously you can cancel it. No cost to you guys at all. But we are going to be closing up shop. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to everybody. One last time, let's do it for, just being here, man. Appreciate you for tuning in. I'm going to close up shop. Harrison Jr. most likely will be in Arizona Cardinal. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, bye-bye.